Today we're talking about ditching the daily grind, cutting the cord, and going completely off-grid. That's right, folks. We're diving deep into the top 15 states in the USA that are perfect for saying see ya to the man and living life on your own terms. Whether you're a seasoned survivalist or just curious about a more sustainable lifestyle, this list has something for everyone. We're talking about places where you can build your dream cabin in the woods, power your home with the sun, and escape the noise of the city. So buckle up, grab your bug spray, and get ready to explore the best that off-grid living has to offer. Trust me, after this video, you'll be packing your bags and heading for the hills. First up, we're heading north, way north, to the land of the midnight sun, where the wilderness reigns supreme and the grizzlies roam free. That's right, we're talking about Alaska, baby. Alaska is practically synonymous with off-grid living. I mean, have you seen those shows? People building their own cabins, hunting for their food, and living off the land for months on end. It's the ultimate test of self-sufficiency. And it's not just for hardcore survivalists either. Alaska offers a certain kind of freedom that you just don't find in the lower 48. Lenient building codes, vast stretches of public land, and an abundance of natural resources make it a haven for anyone looking to disconnect from the grid. Just be prepared for long, dark winters, the occasional close encounter with wildlife, and a whole lot of DIY. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? Now, when it comes to resources, Alaska has got you covered. We're talking rivers teeming with salmon, forests full of timber, and enough potential solar power during those long summer days to keep your batteries charged year-round. But it's not just about practicality. It's about a connection to nature that runs deep. Imagine waking up to the sound of eagles soaring overhead, chopping wood for your stove, and spending your days exploring glaciers and fjords. It's a lifestyle that demands respect for the land and a willingness to learn from its rhythms. You're not just living in Alaska, you're living with it, a part of something bigger than yourself. So if you're looking for a challenge, a chance to truly disconnect and embrace a simpler, more self-reliant way of life, then Alaska might just be the perfect place to plant your off-grid roots. Just, maybe pack a good pair of boots and a whole lot of warm socks. Alright, from the frigid north we're heading south to a land of big skies, majestic mountains, and enough wide open spaces to make you feel like you can finally breathe again. That's right, we're talking about Montana, big sky country. The population density is crazy low. When I say low, I mean like 6 people per square mile. Montanans are known for their independent spirit. Plus, the scenery is just ridiculous. Imagine waking up every morning to views of the Rocky Mountains. Montana's not just about pretty views, it's about freedom. Freedom to build your dream homestead without breaking the bank. Freedom to live off the grid without bureaucratic headaches. And let's not forget about the outdoor recreation opportunities. World-class trout fishing, miles of hiking trails, and spotting elk, moose, and maybe a grizzly bear. But with freedom comes responsibility. Montana's weather can be harsh. You should definitely be prepared to be self-sufficient. Alright, number 3 on our list for off-grid living is Idaho. The potato state. It's a haven for folks looking to ditch the grid. Idaho's got tons of cheap land, wide open spaces, rolling hills, forests, mountains, and you don't need to be a millionaire. Idaho's got relaxed building regulations. Build your dream homestead without jumping through hoops. Solar-powered yurt, go for it. It's all about that self-sufficient lifestyle. Idaho's not just about cheap land and chill regulations, it's got an incredible sense of community, especially among the off-grid crowd. People here are friendly, resourceful, and always willing to lend a helping hand. And let's not forget about the great outdoors. Idaho's a nature lover's paradise with pristine lakes, rivers, forests, and mountains just begging to be explored. Live life on your own terms, connect with nature and a like-minded community. Trust me, this place is more than just potatoes, it's the real deal. Alright, we're moving on to number 4 on our list, and it's a state that's near and dear to my heart, Wyoming. Now I know what you're thinking, Wyoming? Isn't that just cowboys and tumbleweeds? And yeah, there's definitely some of that. But underneath that rugged exterior, Wyoming's hiding a secret. It's a freaking paradise for anyone looking to live off the grid. First off, let's talk about space. Wyoming has got it in spades. We're talking wide open plains, towering mountains, and more elbow room than you can shake a stick at. And you know what comes with all that space? Low population density, like really low. We're talking about a place where you can go for miles without seeing another soul, which is perfect if you're trying to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. But the best part? Low property taxes. Seriously, Wyoming has some of the lowest property taxes in the entire country. And when you're living off the grid, every penny counts, right? So if you're looking to stretch your budget further and keep more of your hard-earned cash, Wyoming's got your back. Now, I'm not gonna lie, living off the grid in Wyoming isn't for the faint of heart. The winters can be brutal, the terrain can be unforgiving, and you're gonna need to be self-sufficient. But for those who are up for the challenge, Wyoming offers a level of freedom and independence that's hard to find anywhere else. You're free to live life on your own terms, surrounded by breathtaking beauty and a sense of peace that's hard to describe. And hey, if things get a little too rugged, there's always the Cowboy State's renowned sense of community. People in Wyoming are known for their self-reliance, but they're also incredibly friendly, and always willing to lend a helping hand to their neighbors. So, if you're the kind of person who craves wide-open spaces, values independence, and isn't afraid of a little hard work, Wyoming might just be the perfect place for you to ditch the grid and embrace the off-grid lifestyle. Alright, let's talk Oregon, the Pacific Northwest gem. Oregon's got a split personality: hipster Portland and the off-grid wilderness, lush forests, rugged mountains, high deserts, and a stunning coastline. Something for everyone. Build a cabin, live off the land, dream of a solar-powered homestead. Oregon says go for it. You get the picture, right? Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, Oregon sounds great and all, but what about the people? I don't want to be surrounded by lumberjack hipsters judging my DIY skills. And yeah, Oregon's got its fair share of those. But beyond the craft breweries and coffee shops, you'll find a welcoming community. Oregonians are resourceful and self-reliant. They're all about community and sustainability, whether it's sharing gardening tips or inviting you over for a potluck. With Oregon's commitment to environmental protection, you can be sure these resources will be around for generations. Trust me, it's more than just a pretty face. Alright, we're diving into the Pacific Northwest, a region practically built for off-grid living. Washington State, where lush forests meet rugged mountains, is a dream for escaping the city grind. Wake up to birds chirping, not car horns. Step outside your cabin, coffee in hand, and breathe in that fresh, pine-scented air. Washington's got a strong independent streak, valuing self-sufficiency and harmony with nature. Plus, it's got a good track record with renewable energy. Picture yourself chopping wood, collecting rainwater, and living off the land. Just be prepared for a little rain. It's the evergreen state for a reason. Now, don't think for a second that living off-grid in Washington means roughing it. We're not talking about living in a shack with no electricity. Nowadays, you can find some seriously innovative off-grid communities popping up all over the state. These folks are harnessing the power of solar, wind, and hydro to create self-sufficient homes that are both comfortable and environmentally friendly. They're growing their own food, building their own shelters, and proving that you can live a modern life while minimizing your impact on the planet. And let's not forget about Washington's access to fresh water. With all those rivers and lakes, you're practically swimming in opportunities for hydropower and sustainable water management. So, whether you're a seasoned off-grider or just starting to explore the idea, Washington State offers a unique blend of natural beauty, a supportive community, and forward-thinking solutions for sustainable living. Next up, we're heading to the heart of the Rocky Mountains, Colorado, known for its breathtaking scenery and adventurous spirit. Imagine waking up to snow-capped peaks and crisp mountain air. Colorado's raw beauty draws you in, making you want to disconnect. It's perfect for off-grid living with its independent spirit. And with all that sunshine, it's ideal for solar power. Colorado embraces self-sufficiency and celebrates the great outdoors. Now, one of the best things about Colorado's off-grid scene is the sense of community. You'll find like-minded folks who are passionate about sustainable living, sharing tips, resources, and maybe even a beer or two around a campfire. There are workshops and gatherings where you can learn everything from building your own solar panels to growing food in a high-altitude climate. People here are eager to help each other out, and that kind of support system is invaluable when you're venturing off the grid. And let's not forget about Colorado's abundance of public lands. We're talking millions of acres of national forests and wilderness areas where you can hike, camp, fish, and truly immerse yourself in nature. So, If you're ready to trade in the concrete jungle for the Rocky Mountains, Colorado's got a place for you. Just be prepared to embrace the adventure, the challenges, and the incredible rewards that come with living off the grid in this stunning state. Next, we're heading southwest to the land of cacti and canyons, Arizona. Now, when you think of Arizona, you might picture scorching deserts and endless sunshine. And you know what? You wouldn't be wrong. But what you might not realize is that this state is also a haven for off-grid living. Arizona's got wide open spaces, affordable land, and a certain rugged individualism that attracts folks who want to live life on their own terms. We're talking about a place where you can build your dream home without breaking the bank, where you can escape the crowds and find true solitude under a star-filled sky. Arizona's got this raw, untamed beauty that's both awe-inspiring and humbling. And let's not forget about that sunshine. Arizona's practically swimming in solar power potential. So, if you're ready to ditch the grid and embrace a life powered by the sun, Arizona's got you covered. Now, living off-grid in Arizona does come with its own set of challenges. We're talking about extreme temperatures, limited water resources, and the occasional scorpion encounter. But hey, challenges are just opportunities in disguise, right? And the off-grid community in Arizona is a resourceful bunch. They've found innovative ways to collect and conserve water, build sustainable homes that can withstand the heat, and even grow food in the desert. They're using solar ovens, building earthships, and proving that you can not only survive but thrive in this challenging environment. And the best part? They're doing it while minimizing their impact on the planet. So if you're up for the adventure, if you're ready to embrace a different pace of life, and if you're not afraid of a little hard work, Arizona might just be the off-grid paradise you've been searching for. Just remember to pack your sunscreen, your sense of adventure, and maybe a good pair of hiking boots. New Mexico, the land of enchantment. It's like stepping onto a movie set, but instead of just pretending to live off the grid, you actually can. Wide open spaces, dude. Sunsets that'll blow your mind. And the cost of living? Way lower than a lot of those other states we've talked about. You can actually afford to buy land here, build a place, and not be drowning in bills every month. Plus, New Mexico's got this whole vibe about it. People are laid back, independent, they get it. They're not gonna freak out if you want to live a little differently. And the climate, don't even get me started. Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. Perfect for solar panels, growing your own food, just soaking it all in. New Mexico, man, it's a hidden gem. Now, I know what you're thinking. Desert living? Water? Listen, New Mexicans have been living sustainably in the desert for centuries. It's about being smart, collecting rainwater, using resources wisely, and that's part of the appeal, right? Living off-grid means being more connected to the land, more aware of your impact. It's not always easy, but it's definitely rewarding. Plus, the state's got some pretty cool incentives for renewable energy, so you can power your whole place with the sun, reduce your carbon footprint, and stick it to the man all at the same time. New Mexico. It's not just about escaping the system, it's about building something better. Maine. Think about it. Pine trees, rocky coastlines, lobster rolls. It's like stepping into a postcard. And you know what else Maine's got? A fiercely independent spirit. These people know how to take care of themselves, how to live off the land. They've been doing it for generations. Plus, Maine's got this whole live and let live attitude. You want to build a cabin in the woods and disappear? Be their guest. Nobody's gonna bat an eye. And the natural resources? Forget about it. Forests full of timber lakes swimming with fish and more maple syrup than you can shake a stick at. Now, Maine's not for the faint of heart. Winters can be brutal, but that's part of the appeal, right? It's about testing your limits, proving to yourself that you can handle anything. And besides, there's nothing more cozy than being holed up in a cabin with a wood-burning stove, a good book, and a cup of hot cocoa while the snow's piling up outside. Plus, Maine's got some pretty progressive laws when it comes to off-grid living. They encourage things like rainwater harvesting, composting toilets, and renewable energy. So you can live sustainably, reduce your impact on the environment, and be one with nature. Maine. It's not just a state, it's a state of mind. Vermont. It's like a Norman Rockwell painting come to life. Rolling hills, charming villages, covered bridges. It's the kind of place where you can actually imagine yourself living off the grid, sipping maple lattes and wearing a lot of fleece. And the best part? Vermont's not just beautiful, it's also incredibly progressive. These people are serious about sustainability, about protecting their environment. They've got strict zoning laws to prevent sprawl. They encourage local agriculture and they're big on renewable energy, so you can feel good about living off the grid in Vermont. You're not just doing your own thing, you're part of a movement. Now, Vermont's not all about granola and Birkenstocks. There's a rugged individualism here too. These people are used to taking care of themselves, to relying on their own skills and ingenuity. And that's what makes it such a great place for off-grid living. You're not alone in Vermont. You're part of a community of people who understand the challenges and rewards of self-sufficiency. Plus, the state's got some pretty amazing resources for off-gridders. There are workshops on everything from solar panel installation to permaculture gardening, and there's a strong network of people who are always willing to help each other out. It's not just about escaping the rat race, it's about finding a place where you can connect with nature, with your community, and with yourself. It's about living a life that's both simpler and more meaningful. Alright, we're more than halfway through this list, and let me tell you, the off-grid dream is alive and well in Tennessee. This state is like the hidden gem of the South. You want affordable land? Tennessee's got your back. Seriously, the cost of living here is crazy low, especially compared to those coastal states where everyone's crammed together. You can actually afford to buy a decent chunk of land without having to sell a kidney. It's refreshing, man, and it's not just the price tag, it's the vibe. Tennessee gets it. They understand the appeal of living a little closer to the land, doing your own thing. It's a state where you can build a cabin in the woods and not have your neighbors freaking out, reporting you to some homeowners association. Plus, you've got 4 distinct seasons here. You want those beautiful fall colors? Tennessee's got them. You want a snowy winter wonderland? Boom! Tennessee delivers. It's the best of both worlds. And don't even get me started on the resources. Fertile land, perfect for growing your own food. You can have a real garden here. This is about being self-sufficient, living off the grid. And water, forget about it. Rivers, lakes, streams, you name it. Private swimming hole, fishing for dinner, it's like stepping back in time. But it's not all about roughing it. Cool mix of rural living and city life. Peace and quiet, but not isolated. Best of both worlds, that's Tennessee. Alright, let's talk North Carolina, a state that really does have it all. We're talking mountains, beaches, forests, you name it. It's like they took all the best parts of America and crammed them into one state. And that diversity is a huge plus for off-grid living. You can find your perfect spot, whether it's a cabin in the Blue Ridge Mountains, a homestead on the coast, or something in between. The possibilities are endless, but it's not just the scenery that makes North Carolina special, it's the people. They're down to earth, welcoming, and they understand the appeal of living a simpler life. You won't find a lot of judgment here, just a lot of support. It's a state where you can be yourself, live your truth, and build the off-grid life you've always dreamed of. And speaking of support, North Carolina has a thriving community of off-grid enthusiasts. These are people who get it, who are living the life, and who are always willing to lend a helping hand. Whether you need advice on solar panels, water filtration, or just want to swap stories around a campfire, you'll find your tribe in North Carolina. And let's not forget about the resources. North Carolina has a mild climate, fertile land, and plenty of water. You can grow your own food, raise livestock, and live sustainably without sacrificing comfort. It's a state that truly has it all, and that's what makes it such a great choice for off-grid living. Alright, we're talking Kentucky, people. You think bourbon and horses, right? But this state's got a whole lot more going for it. Rolling hills, thick forests, and rivers just begging for you to build a cabin. Kentucky's cost of living is crazy low. More money for solar panels, wind turbines, and off-grid gear. The land is affordable. Kentucky's got water, timber, and sunshine. It's like living off the land was meant to be done here. Kentuckians are down to earth and self-sufficient. They understand the appeal of a simpler life closer to nature. Now let's talk regulations. Kentucky's pretty relaxed with building codes, especially in rural areas. More freedom to build your off-grid homestead without bureaucratic hoops. More time for DIY projects, less time on paperwork. Kentucky's got a strong sense of community. Plenty of like-minded folks passionate about sustainable living. Imagine sipping coffee as the sun rises over the Appalachian Mountains. The satisfaction of building your life with your own hands. Kentucky might just be the perfect spot for you. Missouri, the show-me state. It's beautiful, wide open, endless skies. And the possibilities for off-grid living are endless. We're talking next-level freedom. Missouri's cost of living is low, a fraction of the price for land and housing. Invest in a top-of-the-line solar system or a rainwater harvesting setup. Missouri's got it all: rolling hills, dense forests, sparkling lakes. Build your dream cabin in the woods. Missouri is all about personal freedom. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, Missouri sounds great and all, but what about the community? Missourians are some of the friendliest, most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. They value hard work, self-reliance, and common sense. You'll find a strong network of like-minded folks passionate about sustainable living. Imagine just relaxing on your porch with some homemade iced tea in hand, watching the most beautiful sunset ever. So there you have it, folks. 15 states that are practically begging you to ditch the grid and embrace a life of freedom and self-sufficiency. From the rugged mountains of Alaska to the rolling hills of Missouri, there's a perfect off-grid haven out there for everyone. Remember, this is just a starting point. Do your research, follow your gut, and don't be afraid to chase that off-grid dream. It's out there waiting for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a future video. Thanks for watching.